So as OC has kind of given me a good introduction, my name is Craig. I am from South London, Fulham to be exact. And I am a business owner of two businesses. First and foremost, it will be my branding, design and marketing agency company. We specialize in startup companies. So literally from wherever you're at, from a thought in your head, a dream in your mind, we basically help you to have that professional outlook but for affordable prices. So I've come from a design and marketing background. I've got a degree in those subjects, and basically I just love to help people. So I have a lot of understanding and a lot of knowledge working for some of the biggest brands in the world. I was brand director, I was brand designer for Lucozade, Sony, Ethical Fashion Forum, L'Oreal, the list goes on and on. Whilst I was working in the industry, literally in my third year of university, I was back and forth in Shoreditch, working for a design company, and then I went off to two more agencies in Chelsea and in Wimbledon. Before I had the same mindset as OC, there was something more that I wanted to do, so I went out, took the leap of faith, and decided to carry on and to stick to my own sort of instincts. And that's where CraigDean Studio was born. That was in 2014. And then, like OC said as well, I wanted to have multiple streams of income. I didn't want to just rely on one source or somebody or one person or just one thing. I want to have multiple streams. I'm a creative person. Big up all the rest of the guys, you know, very business minded, but that wasn't me. I wasn't into, you know, the numbers and I was into the creative side of life. I wanted to do different ideas. I had so much things in my head. But one thing about me, I was very responsible and took authority and took responsibility with my ideas. So one of the ideas at university actually was showing people my culture. So who I am, what I was passionate about. One of those things is food. As you can tell, I'm a big guy. I love my food. I love my culture. I love my people. I love my family. And one of the ideas was Caribbean food, how to show people how to make. Initially, it was Caribbean drinks. And then there was an epidemic. Who remembers, like, all of a sudden on Facebook, like, all the videos were like food, like how to make pasta with cheese, or how to make, you know, toast or whatever, or just how to make everyday sort of food. But I thought, imagine if it was a real home-cooked Caribbean food. Initially, it was just for my friends, and I said to my brother the same thing, literally, and we were just teamed up together. My brother Sean and I, we created original Flava, literally basically showing people how to make Caribbean food in 1-minute videos. Very easy, very effective into the new and modern day generation. And the first video actually got 1 million views in 1 week on Facebook. So it was very organic and literally a leap of faith. Going to Curry's, getting the most basic camera, and literally just going to my grandmother's house and making a video on something that I love, which is food and my culture. So, as I said, CraigDean Studio, branding, design and marketing agency, specializing in startup companies. Then we have Original Flava over here, which is the biggest Caribbean food platform in the world. We have over 600,000 plus social media followers. We've got over 75 million video views. And we also got 2 #1 best-selling Amazon cookbooks. And this is only in the space of 3 years. So these are some of the companies that I've featured in or worked with, either for my branding company or in my career or with Original Flava. So today I want to talk to you guys how to market your new company or brand, or existing brand or established brand on social media. So there's a formula that is easily and is quite frequent within the business world, especially with startup companies. It's all about solving a problem. It's all about identifying a problem and solving it. That is what makes the world go round, so to say. So if you look at anything in this room, anything that you lay your eyes on, it is a problem solved. And we're not going to go into that at the moment. What I'm going to go into is how to, as I said before, my title being how to effectively market your company on social media, using social media. And I like to use a similar formula like we do for startup companies as well, which is firstly identify, then create, and then engage. So I'm just going to touch on identify first. Identify in relation to social media. Identify because you've already identified the problem already. That's why you've already started the business. That's why you started, hopefully. You identified the problem. So it's the same way with marketing. Identify your audience. Who are your audience? What do they wear? What shop do they go to? What do they watch on TV? What's their favorite trainers or shoes or heels or whatever it may be? Identify who they are. What I like to do is I like to literally visualize my audience as a person. Literally. Is his name Bill? Is her name Shanita or Shaquita or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So I like to visualize my audience as a person. And in that way, we can easily know how to target them, right? So my beautiful wife is in the crowd as well. So I know her. I know what she likes. I know what she doesn't like. I know what she'll love to go and watch. But I also know what she doesn't want to watch. So it basically limits my choices and makes my decisions more effective. So firstly, identify your audience. Then, once you identify the audience, understanding who they are, then you have to create. So you actually physically have to do something. This is a note to physically do something, produce. Obviously, I am referencing a more creative way of thinking by marketing. So you can look at that as creating or producing or actively doing something in relation to what you have already identified. And then after you have created the product or created the thing, you actively engage with that thing to your audience in any way possible based on what you have identified and created. So engagement is one of the most important things with marketing, because you can produce the best looking thing, the best looking product, but if you don't engage your audience with it, there's no point in that product whatsoever. So here's a little reference or case study for Original Flava. So when Original Flava, who actually follows Original Flava here? Anyone? Respect. I appreciate that. So Original Flava, even though it was an organic growth, and it's seen us go literally all over the world. Our biggest audience is in America, then it's in the UK, and then all over Europe, the Caribbean, etc., etc. We've been on national TV, national press, 6-page spreads in the Sunday Times, Daily Mail, Sun, The Mirror, etc. The list goes on. Even though it wasn't organic growth, it was very much strategic. It was very much intentional. Who we targeted and how we targeted them. So we see here we've identified. So my brother, firstly, I just want to big up my brother. Sure, he's not here at the moment, but I big him up all day, every day. He's like my best friends, and he is very much, he'll do anything. Literally, he'll run through a brick wall to achieve what he needs to achieve. And we have a perfect balance. If you know both of us, we have a perfect balance. I'm more intentional. Sean is more, I'm just going to do it. So I think that comes with my appreciation for the process of being a creative. So I identified with the audience. Our audience, or what was prior to us. So our audience, first and foremost, our audience was, the Caribbean culture, 25 to 35-year-old. Caribbean food was an in thing. It's getting more mainstream now. Everyone loves the food, everyone loves the music, the culture, dancehall, reggae, vibes, cartel, all them things, Rihanna, etc., etc. So everyone loves the food, so it's just getting mainstream, but nobody knows how to cook it. So at the time, the only platform was a platform, not the only, but one of the most popular platforms was a platform that was basically run by an elderly lady on YouTube. And I'm not sure how many people are Caribbean in it. Jamaican? Okay. So you may have understood some of her patois on YouTube, or could have tolerated the 35-minute length YouTube videos on YouTube. But the average Joe or Jane or Marianne couldn't understand how to make mackerel rundown or saltfish fritters, or they don't know what a pear is or anything like that, aka avocado. They don't know. So we identified that problem. And we identified the age group, our audience, which was 25 to 35-year-old, the microwave generation, quote unquote, as it was identified as all those years back. The generation of Instagram. So all our videos were 1 minute. We made an intentional move that all our videos were 1 minute. Oxtail, 1 minute, even though I'm not cooking 1 minute. Rice and peas, 1 minute. Everything 1 minute. Our first ever video was bun and cheese. Does anyone know bun and cheese? Yeah, bun and cheese, Caribbean bun and cheese during Easter time. It's a myth trying to go to the cornfield market in Four Leaf. It's a myth because the queue is around the corner and around the bend. So we decided, okay, let's just make a recipe from scratch in the comfort of your own home, showing you how to make it in 1 minute. No intros, my mom told me how to make this and that, or no long dialogue of how to make it, but just straight to the point. Straight to the product, straight to identifying what you actually need. So then the everyday cook, the market, like the people that love to rave, those are our audience. So then we actually decided, like I said, to create the 1 minute videos, and then in terms of how to engage, we engage the people, yes, by those 1 minute videos, very accessible, straight to the point, but to maintain the relationship long term. Even though we did get a very fast turnover of social media followers, we engaged them through the food, yes, through relatability, through our family connection, with myself and my brother, but also our grandmother as well. He was a very pivotal and very instrumental part of our brand, and the emotional side as well. So when it comes to marketing your brand, you have to identify the audience, obviously, and engage and create, but engage them through emotion is one of the most important things when it comes to branding your product. Emotion and relatability. whether that's through how you speak on social media, your captions, how you relate to them. So for us, for example, we speak with South London slang crossed with patois. So it's that relatability that can be like, okay, I relate with that, so I'm going to engage with that. And emotional side, oh, I've got a grandmother too, oh, I have a brother too, my grandmother cooks all the time, etc., etc. So that opens the door to a friendly face, basically. We'll invite you in and invite you in to stay. So that's why we've got a really loyal following, a following that knows us, that knows our family, that knows when I got married, when I recently had twins, you know, I had children, my brother had a child as well, so it's that relatability. So in relation to your business, you have to find that connection to your audience. So we found our connection. That will probably not be your connection, but you have to find your connection to your audience. And when you find that connection and able to engage with them, it will produce results. So for example, I'm talking a lot about my businesses, but in relation to a business that you may have, for example, you may have a service, for example, a hair salon, for example, or a brand or a product. So you may be on Instagram. Yes, the hashtags work, etc. They do work, but you could go that one step further. A good friend of mine, called Joshua, he always told me about engaging with your people, engaging, and that is what it's all about. And this is a great idea. That once you literally, you know, the location bar of Instagram where it says London or etc. So you can literally just, or Thornton Heath, or if your service is in a particular area, just click on the service and then look at who is posted in and around that service. And you can click on their profile, see if there's a certain follower that could be a potential customer, direct message them, and just copy and paste. That's just one little idea. There's so many different other ways, even by Twitter as well. Look on the search bar, type in, for example, Caribbean food, or type in, if you're a restaurant owner, type in, looking for that restaurant, type in restaurant and Croydon if that's the area that you're in. And then it will basically define the people that literally have those two keywords in their tweets. So someone might say, I'm looking for a restaurant in Croydon. And then you'll be able to, you can literally just measure them through that. Because that is a direct way of knowing that person wants your product. So there's so many different ways in which to engage with your potential clientele effectively. There's so many ways, so many ways. And if you do those formula, I guarantee there'll be results if you're consistent as well. That's me, I'm Craig McAnuff. If you want to come and chat to me, I am available. I can talk to you about food. I'm available. Also, if you have a business idea, if you're looking to, see 2020 as the year for you to really go after your business idea, I can help you in all things branding, in all things advice, consultation, and web design.